Hey, what's up everybody? Clifton here, Cliftonwp. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to learn how to create a custom floating fixed navigation using Kadence hooked elements. Now, this is going to be a secondary navigation that shows up whenever you are scrolling on a page and allows you to navigate to different parts of that same page. Let me show you an example of what I mean. Take a look at this page here. This is a menu page for a restaurant and it's got several items on the page. When you start scrolling on the page, you'll notice that a secondary navigation floats onto the page and has links to different areas within the page. So for instance, if I click on appetizers, it will take me to the appetizer section on the page. If I click on breakfast, it takes me to the breakfast section, lunch, and dinner. And if I scroll back to the top of the page, then the secondary menu disappears. Okay. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the Kadence hooked elements to create the very same effect for your own websites. So if you guys are ready to learn how to use Kadence hooked elements to create a custom floating fixed navigation for your pages or maybe your one-page website, then let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Hey, if you're new to the channel, welcome and thank you in advance for watching this video. If you like actionable step-by-step WordPress tutorials on Kadence and all things web design, then I invite you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel and remember to hit that notification bell so that you're notified every time I release a new video. And for those of you who are already subscribed and are supporting the channel and sharing my videos, thank you very much for doing that. I really appreciate it and I really appreciate you. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the tutorial. The first thing that you're going to need is a page that has different sections like this one that you would like to link to. It doesn't have to be this exact layout. It can be any layout that you want, but as long as it has areas of the page where you would like to link to, then that is a great candidate for the fixed floating menu navigation. Now, if you like this page and you like this layout, I'm going to invite you to go ahead and watch my tutorial on how to create custom layouts using the advanced query loop block. That's how this page was created. I'm using a free starter template from Kadence starter templates, and then we built out this entire page in that tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and link to it in the description below. Just go ahead and watch it. And if you'd like to have this same exact page, that tutorial will teach you how to create a page like this using the advanced query loop block. You can also create a page like this, building it out statically as well. But either way, you'll need a page that you want to be able to link to and have areas of the page that the links will correspond to. For this tutorial, we are using the free Kadence theme. And for our plugins, we are using mainly the Kadence Blocks and the Kadence Pro theme add-on. So the Pro theme add-on is a premium add-on from Kadence, and this is what's going to give us the capability of having the hooked elements so that we can hook our mini navigation to that page. If you don't have the Kadence Pro theme add-on, just go to cliftonwp.com/Kadence. That's going to take you to this page right here. That is an affiliate link. So anything you buy from the page will generate a commission that goes to support the channel. It doesn't affect the price that you pay, but it does generate a commission that goes to support the channel. And it is not necessary for you to do that in order for you to acquire the Kadence tools. You can actually do it by going directly to cadencewp.com if you so choose. All right, now when you get here, it's going to be important that you have either the Essential Bundle, which includes the Kadence Pro Theme add-on, or the Full Bundle, which includes the Kadence Pro Theme add-on and all the other plugins that Kadence has to offer in its web development suite. You can also choose to get the Lifetime Full Bundle, where you only pay one price one time, and you get access to all the plugins and future plugins that Kadence releases inside of the full bundle. These two bundles here are renewed annually. Lastly, you can also get it a la carte. If you click on Shop Individual Plugins, you will see the Kadence Pro Theme add-on here for $79, and it will give you access to the hooked elements, which is the component that we need to be able to create our floating fixed navigation. All right, let's go back to our site where we can walk through the build out of the custom floating fixed mini navigation for the page. Okay, so here we are on the page without the floating fixed navigation. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and create that. To do that, just go to your Kadence account and you will see the Kadence Pro theme add-on. Go ahead and download it. Then you'll want to go to plugins in your dashboard, click on add new plugin, and then upload the Pro theme add-on into your site. Once you've uploaded it into your site, we're going to go to appearance and then go to Kadence, and you'll see here that the Pro add-ons are now available for you. The one that we want to toggle on is the hooked element. So let's go ahead and toggle that on. Once you toggle that on, if we go back to the Kadence page again here in the side menu, you'll now see that you have a submenu item under Kadence called Elements. Let's go ahead and click there. And this is where we're going to create our floating fixed navigation. As you can see, you can create sections, fixed items, templates, and then there's a spot for HTML code. So we're going to go ahead and click on Add New, and we want to select a fixed section. Let's go ahead and give it a title. So let's call this one our floating fixed mini navigation. Okay. All right. And then here in the editor, we're just going to go ahead and simply build out our floating menu. All right. First, we're going to create a row for the navigation. To do that, we're going to go ahead and click on the block line, do a /, type the word row, and we'll select the row layout from Kadence Blocks. We want a 1-column row, and here in the short menu, we're going to set the inner content width to 650 pixels. Okay. Next, what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and add our navigation container. So to do that, that's going to be a section. Click on the plus sign here, and we're going to select the section from Kadence Blocks. I'm going to move over to the list view. Let's open up list view by clicking on this icon. And I'm going to rename this section navigation section or nav section. So let's rename this to nav section, and we'll call it a container. Click save. All right. And then inside of this nav container, we also want to add our logo image and our links. But before we do that, we want to go ahead and add some color to this so that we can see it once we do that. So select the nav section container, move over here to the right, go to style, and we want a background color, and we want this color to be dark. We also want to add some padding to this, so click on the advanced tab for that section, unify the size for the padding, and we'll set this to be extra small. Then we also want to set up the pill shape for the navigation, so click on the style tab, go to border styles, and here where we have border radius, I'm going to go ahead and unify the sides, and we're going to go ahead and add 100 pixel radius there, and that should give us this pill format that we see here. Okay. Next, let's go ahead and add our elements, which is going to be our logo and our links. To do that, we're going to divide that into 2 different sections. So we're going to click on the plus sign, and let's add the first section from Kadence Blocks. We're going to rename this section to our logo section. Click save, and then we're going to click on the vertical ellipsis and add another section right below that. So just click on add after, do a /, type the words section, and we'll select the Kadence section block, and then we're going to rename this one our links section and click save. Okay. Next, let's go ahead and add our blocks to each section. So in the logo section, click on the plus sign, and what we want is an image block. Click on select, and we're going to go ahead and find our logo in here. Now, if you're using this starter template, there is a light version of the logo included with the template, which is this one right over here. But if you're building it for your own website, then just add the appropriate logo. So let's go ahead and select the logo. Click on select, and we want this logo to be a little bit smaller. So I'm going to set this logo to be 120 pixels. Then in the section below it, which is going to be our links section, go ahead and select that. Now, before we start adding our links, which are going to be text blocks, we're going to go ahead and set up a few settings here first. So with the section selected, I'm going to move over to the right, go to style. We're going to go to text color settings, And the text color that we're going to select here is going to be this bright yellow, or just pick a bright color if you're following along with this tutorial. And then our text link will be the same exact color, and our text hover link will be a white color. Okay. Next, we're going to go ahead and add our links. So let's click on the plus sign, and what we're looking for is the Kadence text block. I'm going to go ahead and select the Kadence text block. We're going to change the designation from an H2. I'm going to change this to a span tag. And let's go ahead and add our text to this. So we'll call this appetizer. Okay, I'm going to move over here to the right, and the first thing I want to do to make this a little bit bigger is I'm going to set the letter case to be all caps. And then I'm also going to highlight the text, and we're going to make it a bold text to make it a little bit more prominent. Okay, we don't want the letters too big, but we want them to be visible. Now that I've made that setup here, next what we're going to do is go ahead and duplicate this text block about 3 times. So I'm going to click on the vertical ellipsis while I have the text selected, and then click on duplicate, and then do that 2 more times. Then next I'm going to go ahead and change the text for the subsequent text blocks here. So for this one, this will be breakfast, this will be lunch, and then this will be dinner. Okay, awesome. So now that we have our text, we also have our logo in place. The first thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that this is set up in line with each other, meaning that the text is in line with the logo here. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and select my nav section container. So this one collects the 2 sections. I'm going to select the nav section container, move over to the right. Under the flex settings, under the general tab, we're going to change the direction from vertical to horizontal. It's going to place them side by side. Then I'm going to go ahead and select the links section, and I'm going to move over to the right to the settings, go to the general tab. Under the flex settings, I'm also going to set the direction here from vertical. We're going to change that to horizontal. Okay. Then the next thing that we need to do here is we need to deal with the widths of each of these sections. Okay, so I'm going to select the logo section. I'm going to move over here to the right, and we're going to go to the general tab, and we're going to select the content max width. So for this one, I want the content max width. I'm going to use percentages on this one. So I'm going to change the unit here to a %, and we're going to set this content max width to 30%. Okay. All right. And then for the links section, I'm going to move over here to the right, and we're going to go to under the general tab. We're going to select the content max width. And for this one, I'm going to set the content max width here to 64%. Okay, great. All right, so now they're pretty much side by side. Now, the other thing that I want to do as well is I want this to have a little bit more spacing and gap in it. So I'm going to select the links section, move over here to the right. And here where it says horizontal gap, I'm going to set this to a medium gap. And then I'm also going to set the alignment to be centered. Okay. So now it's centered inside of its own section here. Now that I have my image and I have my section both well aligned here, the other thing that I want to do is I just want to make sure that these also have a appropriate gapping here so that there's more space and everything is more balanced. So I'm going to select the nav section container again, move over here to the right, click on the horizontal gap and set that to medium. That's going to push that over just a little bit more. And then the other thing is I want to make sure that each of these are floated both to the sides. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to select for the alignment that I want these to have a space between them. Okay. All right. So now I'm sure that everything is aligned correctly. Okay, next we're just going to make a few additional tweaks. I'd like to have a little bit more space between the logo here and the edge of the container. And then we probably need a little bit more breathing room between the elements and the edges of the container as well. So let's start with the logo. I'm going to select the logo, move over here to the right, go to advanced, and under the padding option here, I'm going to go to the left side, and we're just going to increase this to extra small. So just 1 notch over. Okay, next I'm going to go ahead and select the nav section container, move over to the right, go to advanced, and on the top part of the padding, we're going to move that over 1 notch over to extra small. And then for the bottom, we're going to move that over to extra small as well. Okay, so now this looks a little bit more balanced. Then the other thing that I want to do is I want to add a very subtle box shadow to this nav container. So I'm going to select the nav section container again, move over to the right, go to the style tab, scroll down, and here where you have border styles, let's go ahead and toggle on the box shadow. That's going to add a very subtle box shadow to it, but we want that to be slightly more prominent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the color here. So click on the color selector, and let's go ahead and increase the shadow to about 30%. So 0.3 is enough. And then for the blur itself, let's select this. Here where it says blur, I'm going to increase this to 20. And then on the y-axis, I'm going to add about 5 pixels of shadow. So you should see a very subtle shadow underneath the container here. Okay. All right. The next step is for us to go ahead and link the image and the text links to the various parts of the page. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Okay, to better help us link the image and the links to the various areas of the page, we're going to go ahead and actually add our floating fixed menu navigation to that page now. And this way we can have a better idea of where we want everything to link. Because if we go to the page, we want to make sure that the image is going to link to the top of the page. And then the appetizer link will take us to the appetizer section. The breakfast link will take us to the breakfast section, and so on. Okay, so let's go ahead and add the element first, and then we will go ahead and link to the various areas. So to do that, we're going to go to the element here, and what we're going to do, we're going to move over here to the right, and we want to access the element settings. To do that, you're going to click on this icon over here. Notice that this is a fixed section, right? So the idea is that it's fixed in place as you're scrolling up and down on the page. The first thing we're going to address is the placement, meaning where do we want this element placed. So I'm going to click on the drop down, and you can see here that there are several options. So there's fixed on top, fixed above a transparent header if you have one, fixed to top after scroll, fixed to bottom after scroll with no space below the footer, fixed on bottom after scroll, fixed on bottom, and then fixed bottom, no space below the footer. The one that makes the most sense is the fixed to top after scroll. The idea is that this will show up after the user starts scrolling. Okay, so let's go ahead and select that option. The scroll down distance till appear here is 300. This is fine. If you want it to appear lower, then you can increase this number here, but it's asking you how many pixels after they scroll do you want this navigation to appear. We'll leave the width here at 100%, and next is going to be the display settings. So if we click on the drop down here, it's going to ask you where do you want this to show, and we actually want this to show up on only one page, which is going to be the menu page. So I'm going to click on the drop down, and here are all the options of everywhere this can show up, and in this case I'm going to go and look for the single pages, and then we're going to click on the select page by drop down here, and I'm going to select individually. Then we're going to click on select items, and here it's going to list all the pages on your site. So the one that we're looking for is the menu. Okay, if you wanted to show up on multiple pages, you could actually select those pages here as well, but we only want it on the menu. Let's go ahead and click on select. So far we've got our preliminary settings set up. Let's go ahead and publish this, and now our element is live. If we go back to that menu page now, and let me go ahead and refresh the screen here. Okay, if we start to scroll, notice that our navigation now appears. Okay, and it looks pretty nice. We might want to create a little bit more space between the top and the, so maybe a little bit more space here. Okay, but this is actually very nice. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and actually create that space right now. So I'm going to go back to the element here. So I have this open in two different pages so I can go back and forth. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the row layout, move over to the right. We can close this out here. Move over to the right, make sure I have the block settings open. I'm going to go to advanced, and over here we have some small padding. I'm just going to increase this by one more so that'll give me one more notch over. Click on save, and then let's check it out on the front end. And if we start to scroll, let's see if that gives us a little bit more space. So this is, yeah, this is a lot better spacing here. Okay. All right, excellent. Okay, next what we want to do is we want to link these links here. So we want everything here to be linked somewhere on the page. To be able to do that, we're going to use a strategy called anchor linking, or creating anchor links. And what anchor links allow you to do is they allow you to link within the same page from a link that is on that same page. In this case, our navigation is floating, so we can link anywhere on this page. All right, so to be able to do that, we have to identify where we want the links to go. So we're going to go back up here, click on Edit Page. And what we're going to do is we're going to add the anchor links to the various areas, right? So there's going to be a total of 5 links. So that means we can link to 5 areas. The first one is going to be the logo. So for the logo, we're going to click on this row. And what the logo is going to do is it's going to allow us to navigate back up to the top. Okay, so I'm going to select this row. If we open this up in list view, we can see all the row layouts here. I want to select the top row here, which is the page header. Move over to the right, click on Advanced, and under the Advanced tab here, let's open this up. Here is where you can add your anchor word. Okay, so the anchor word is going to be appended to the URL that's going to allow us to navigate to that section. Okay, so for this one, we're going to call it the menu. Okay, and in this one, you just want to put the words together. That way there's no spaces. And we'll call this one the menu. Okay, then next we wanted to also navigate to the different sections. So we want appetizers to navigate to this section right over here. I'm actually going to select the text itself. So this text block, appetizers, move over to the right, go to Advanced, and under the Advanced tab, we're going to go ahead and add our anchor right over here, and we'll just call this appetizer. And then we're going to do the same thing for the other heading tags as well. So let's click on breakfast, go to Advanced. Under the Advanced tab here, we're going to add breakfast. Scroll down. Lunch will be lunch. And dinner, Advanced. Under the Advanced tab, we add dinner. Okay, so now we've added all our anchor words to each of the areas where we want these to link. Okay, let's go ahead and click on Save. All right, so now if we look at our outline, okay, we can see the various areas where these links or the anchor words have been placed. Okay, all right, so next what we want to do is we want to go back to our element and then go ahead and add the anchor words to those links. Okay, so to do that, let's go back to the editing interface for our floating fixed mini navigation. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with the logo. So I'm going to click on the logo itself, move over here to the right. Under the General tab, if you look all the way down or scroll all the way down, you will see the link settings. Let's go ahead and open that up. And here you can see the image link. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a hashtag here. And we're going to add the anchor word for the top of the page. So this is going to be the menu. Let's go ahead and click on the arrow to submit it. And now that's now placed. Okay. Next, we're going to select the appetizer, move over to the right, make sure you're under the General tab. And then here we're going to add a hashtag and appetizers. Okay. Let's click on the arrow here to submit it. And now that's stored there. Okay. Next, we're going to go to our breakfast, move over to the right, General, click on the link settings, hashtag breakfast, and submit it. Okay. I'm noticing that there's an underline showing up here. We don't want this underline. So here where it says link style and it's already set to unset, let's go ahead and click on the drop down and set it to none. We'll also do the same thing here for appetizers, General, link style, none. Okay, next we'll do the lunch. Select the lunch, click on General, go to link settings. The link style is going to be none, and we'll do a hashtag, type the word lunch to match the anchor word we placed for the page. And go ahead and submit it by clicking on the arrow. And then the final one will be dinner, General, link settings. We'll set this to none, and then hashtag dinner. Let's go ahead and submit that. Okay, and then we'll click on Save. All right, so it looks like we have linked all of our links here, and we've even linked the image itself. Okay, let's just make sure that this is, yes it is, so it's linked. Okay, great. Now we're going to go back to our page here. Okay, and we've already saved this, so let's open this up. All right, now when we start navigating, start scrolling, we can see that our mini navigation shows up and it's floating nicely on top of the page. We're going to scroll all the way down, and let's go ahead and start with the logo. So if I click on the logo here, it takes me right to the top of the page. Very nice. Start scrolling again. If I click on appetizers, okay, so that one isn't working for some reason, so that means maybe our anchor link is wrong. So let's go ahead and click on edit page. Let's go to appetizer, move over to the right, go to advanced. Let's open this up here. And yes, we're missing an S. So let's go ahead and add the S there. Click on save. Okay, when we view the page, start scrolling. If we click on appetizers, it now takes us to the appetizers. Okay. If we click on breakfast, it takes us to the breakfast section. Lunch takes us to the lunch section. And dinner takes us to the dinner section. Okay. And if we click on the logo again, it starts us from the very beginning. And of course, the navigation disappears. Okay. Now we do have one more thing that we need to take care of. So this actually looks great and operates great. Everything is really smooth. But how does it look on a mobile device? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click here on the page, select inspect to open up the developer tool. And we can see what it looks like here on a mobile phone. So this is an iPhone 14 Pro Max example. And if we start to scroll, okay, we can see that our navigation shows up and everything is jumbled. Doesn't look very good. Okay, let's take a look at it on an iPad or a tablet. Okay, and that actually looks good. Okay, so the iPad is not a problem. The navigation all still works. Okay, so we just need to take care of it on our mobile phone. Okay, we need to take care of this. So let's go ahead and edit our floating navigation for a mobile phone so that it actually presents very well. Okay, so let's go back to our element editing interface here. Let's go ahead and toggle on the mobile view. So I'm going to click on this preview icon and we're going to select mobile. That's going to show it to me in a mobile phone view. And now I can see the areas where we need to work on. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that everything here can span 100%. So if you remember, if we select let's select the logo section as an example, move over to the right. If we go back to the desktop view, we can see over here under the general settings that we set this to a 30% width, max width. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and change that and make it 100%. So I'm going to select the mobile phone icon here. And in the field here, I'm going to add 100% max width. The next thing that I want to do is I want to set up the alignment for the section on mobile. So on mobile, making sure that the mobile device is selected here, I want to go ahead and align any elements inside of the logo section to the center. Okay, so it's going to go ahead and center that for me. Okay, next I'm going to move over to the links section as well. And on the links section, if we remember, if we look at this on a desktop, we can see that the link section is set to 64%. I'm going to select the mobile phone option here, and we're going to set this also to 100% so that it spans the full width of the container. All right, the other thing that we want to do as well is we want to make sure that these elements are also centered. So I'm going to scroll up here on this section and select the alignment as center. And then the text here is probably too big now for the mobile device, so we're going to go ahead and reduce the size of the text. We're going to do this all at once. So what I want you to do is navigate over to your list view here and select the first one here, which is the appetizer. Hold down your shift key and then select the dinner. That'll select all of them at once. Once you do that, we now have 4 blocks selected. Move over here to the right where you have the settings, and it'll tell you that you have 4 blocks selected and 5 words selected, right? So what we want to do is go ahead and reduce the size here. So let's see what it looks like at a medium. Too big, small is perfect. Okay, so our small size is what we want. All right, and then I'm going to select this links section again, and I'm going to move over to the right here. Go to advanced, and under the margin, I'm just going to add a small margin between the text section, the link section, and the logo there. Okay. All right. So now when we look at this, we can see now this looks a little bit more presentable. The other thing that we notice here is that this pill format really isn't working out very well on the mobile device. So we're free to go ahead and change this into a much more presentable shape. So this is the nav section container. If you look over here on list view, I'm going to select the nav section container. I'm going to move over to the right, make sure that I'm under the style tab, scroll down till you see the border styles. And from here, just making sure that the mobile device icon is highlighted here. I'm going to go ahead and unify the sides. And we're going to give this a border radius of 8. So now we can see now this looks a lot better. Okay, let's go ahead and save our work. And now I'm going to navigate back to the mobile view in the other tab here, so we can see here how it looked before. And then I'm going to go ahead and refresh the screen. Okay, and we can see now this looks a lot more presentable. Our logo is visible. We have a nice container here that fits the phone just right. And then we have our navigation elements in place. So if I click on the logo, this will take me right to the top. Okay, start scrolling down. If I click on appetizers, it takes me to the appetizer section. Breakfast takes me to the breakfast section. Lunch takes me to the lunch section. And dinner will take me to the dinner section, and everything looks great on our mobile device. And if we look at this on an iPad, you can see that the tablet view really did not change, right? So the tablet view still works correctly. And then if we exit this and look at it on desktop, everything still looks phenomenal. Navigates well. And now we have a very functional floating fixed mini navigation for our menu page or any page that you want. Okay, and with that, that'll conclude this tutorial on how to create a custom floating fixed mini navigation for your page, or you can even use this on a one-page website. Hey, if you liked this tutorial, please do me a big favor and smash that like button. And also, if you are a new person to the channel, welcome. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and then also remember to click on the notification bell so that you're notified every time I release new tutorials such as this one. For those of you who've been supporting the channel, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And for those of you who are going to share this content, thank you very much in advance. Liking, commenting, and sharing and subscribing does help the YouTube algorithm find more of my videos and helps other people find those videos as well. And I really appreciate the support. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be able to do this tutorial, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.